Hi guys, welcome back. Happy New Year. How are you? How are you guys feeling? I see quite a lot of familiar names, so please feel free to say hi in the chat. Hi Gordon. Let me see who else is here. Hi Purple. Yeah, so many people. Hi Lynn. Yeah, so happy to have you guys back. So do you guys miss us? Hope you have missed our webinars. So as you know, this is our first brand new webinar for the year 2021. So again, I want to wish all of you Happy New Year and thanks for joining us tonight. It feels really great to be back with you guys again. Yeah, let me see. We have Mina, we have Jiaha, we have Basha, Ita, Episada, Billy. Yeah, Billy say long time no see. That's right, it's been a while since our last webinar, and our webinars have always been really diverse as well. So maybe you want to share with us in the chat, where are you from? I know we have a lot of our listeners today who's from Singapore, like anybody from Malaysia, anybody from Hong Kong, Indonesia, Thailand. Let us know in the chat right now. Deborah say, hey Violet, long time no see. I know. Gordon say yes, miss a lot. Oh, thank you, Gordon. Gordon is definitely one of our very ardent supporter. Thank you, Gordon. Hi, Mona Lisa. Ziming say Happy New Year. Let's make 2021 a great year with all the things going on. Yes, like definitely. Lynn say I'm from Singapore. Ida say I'm from Jakarta. Deborah say homesick Malaysian here. Oh, Basha say Malaysia. Mona Lisa is from Malaysia. Wow. Okay, so we have quite a number of you from Singapore, from Malaysia, and then we have Ita from Indonesia as well. Do we have anybody from Hong Kong or Thailand? Let us know. We want to say hi to you. Bluebell is from Indonesia as well. Awesome. Okay, so I also want to find out, right? How many of you are actually joining us for the first time? Okay, so I'm going to just put out the poll. Okay, just warming up things here, guys. So those of you who have joined us, we need to teach all our newcomers how it works, how the poll works. So those of you who are joining us for the first time, just to let you know that the way we do our webinar is always very interactive, very engaging. So it's not just like me just droning on and talking and talking and talking. We really want to engage with you. We want to, hear from you as well. So you can see, some of our participants are actually using the chat now to interact with me. So please feel free to do so. And of course, we'll be having the polls as well. Okay, so half of the room have voted so far. Those of you who have not voted, come, let's join us, So about 60%. Okay, so I see that the majority, not majority, but 1/3 of the room tonight is actually attending our webinar for the first time. Wow, welcome, really, really happy to see you here. So like I mentioned, do feel free to use the chat. You can also use the Q&A box as well. So if you have any questions for me or for our other speaker tonight, feel free to use the Q&A box to ask us any question. And then I have maybe about more than 10% of you guys, slightly over 10% of the room who say that I'm a diehard fan. I've joined more than 10. Wow, that's awesome. So any guesses on how many webinars you have held so far? Like, let's see. Anybody want to say in the chat, like Lynn say 30, quite a good guess, but actually maybe slightly more. Lian say hi from Indonesia. It's my first time here, by the way. And then we have Natalie who say hi, Happy New Year to you all. Basha say this is my first time. Helen say I'm from Hong Kong. Welcome, welcome. Philip say 50. Okay, so it's actually in between. We have done about 40 webinars last year. It was crazy. So we started doing webinars because of the COVID situation. We know so many of you were like in lockdowns, right? So we thought, okay, how are we going to engage you, to spend more time with you, and of course, share some dating tips with you as well. So that's how we came up with the idea of webinars, and it just keep going on and on and on. So it's been really fun, and we are very, very happy to be back here again in 2021 with another webinar for you. So last week, my colleague was actually sharing with me that someone actually called our office to ask whether we'll be having another webinar soon. So, like what Billy has mentioned just now, long time no see, because our last webinar was in the middle of December, and then after that we stopped because of Christmas and then of the New Year as well, right? So we just come back, like now. So I think we have been off for almost a month. So like I mentioned, like so this person actually called our office, she said, oh, when is your next webinar? Because I'm really looking forward to it. So we really want to thank you for being such a wonderful and supportive community. Just want to let you know that for this year, we will no longer be doing it on a weekly basis. So our target is to be doing it once every 2 weeks. So if you have any interesting topics that you'd like to have us cover, do let us know. So we're already lining up our topics for the rest of the year. But of course, we want to hear what you're interested to hear about as well. Okay, so Mona Lisa say, really miss your webinar. And then we have Peter who say hi as well. Okay, so for our newcomers, like I mentioned, it's very interactive. So do check in with us on the chat, and then also use the poll. And because I do see that 1/3 of the room tonight are actually new to our webinars, I just want to do a very, very quick introduction of myself as well as of the company that's hosting this, which is obviously called Lunch actually. So as you can see, my name is Violet. You can't miss my name because I'm in Violet, as you can see. So I'm the CEO and co-founder of Lunch actually, as well as the Chief Cupid. So how we got started was that because about 17 years ago, I know it's like so long, right? 17 years ago. So I was working in a bank, and then I saw that a lot of my colleagues were single and not dating. So I was just thinking to myself, like because bankers, they are usually like well-groomed, well-dressed, like shouldn't have much difficulty finding someone, I thought. However, I realized that it's because they are just spending too much time at work. In fact, I call my colleagues vampires. Why I call them vampires, right? Because like they don't see the sunlight. They come into work really early, and then like they go back to home really, really late. It's as if they're scared of the sun or something, right? So I realized it's because they just work very long hours. And then for myself, I actually met my other half. I met my then boyfriend, now husband, actually at university. So I realized that if you kind of miss the opportunity of meeting someone, it gets increasingly more difficult. So when I came across the concept of lunch dating, I thought it was fantastic. And that was the reason why I decided to quit my job and started Lunch actually. So that was 17 years ago. And now we are actually in quite a number of countries. So even though we started in Singapore, now we are in Indonesia, we're in Thailand, we're in Malaysia, we're in Hong Kong. And of course, we also have multiple products as well. So our philosophy, I think the most important thing is how we do our matching, or how we want to help singles out there. Our philosophy is that in order to find the right person, you not just need to meet the right person, but you need to be the right person as well. So our philosophy is really, you need to be the right one, meet the right one, and choose the right one. So that's also one of the reasons why we have been so passionate about running our weekly webinars, or now going to be bi-weekly webinars, because like other than having the platform for you to meet someone, we also want to be here to just maybe share with you more dating tips, more dating advice to help you level up, like help you to be the best version of yourself. So other than matchmaking services, we also offer date coaching services as well. So I think those of you who have been to a couple of our webinars, you would have met some of our other dating coaches or our image coaches. So because like I mentioned, we really want to help everybody to improve themselves and be the best version of themselves. And last year, we also launched our app. So we actually now have a Lunch actually app where you can, inquire about our service. You can chat with our consultant. And going forward, for our members, you can also like check your matches. In future, you can even give feedback. And we are even looking to maybe adding video dating to the app as well. Okay, so with all of this information, now what I would like to do is I want to introduce our topic for today. So we thought, like going into 2021, obviously it's like it's always time to like maybe make new goals, or like some of us set New Year resolutions, right? So there's a reason why we decide to have tonight's topic, which is my 2021's love resolutions. So we want to see, we want to help you to achieve what you would like to achieve in 2021, and also see what are some of the takeaways that you can have that will help you with your dating life or even in your relationship. And our team feel that, planning is very, very crucial. And in fact, this is something that I strongly believe in as well, because I believe that if you don't, if you fail to plan, you plan to fail. Okay, do you guys agree? If you agree, maybe you want to write it in the chat. Let me know that yes, I agree. Yeah. So even for myself, be it the business, be it my personal life, I always plan, because I think if we do not have a goal, or we do not have a matrix, like it's kind of like walking blind. Like I do not really know where I'm going. So yes, so tonight we are looking forward to share our goals, like help each other, help keep each other accountable for 2021. And yes, now it's a very, very important moment, because I want to introduce my fellow speaker for tonight. Okay, so some of you have already started saying hi to her in the chat, because I think some of you already know her. So tonight I'm very excited to have Rose Wan, who is our Singapore branch country head, and she'll be helping me and sharing, a lot of insights with you. So Rose has been with us for a long time. She has been with us for like 9 years. So without further ado, let's bring her out. Everybody, please give the lunch actually welcome Rose.
Thank you, Valen. Hello, my name is Rose. Actually, this is the second time I'm here. Hello, guys. Thanks for the warm welcome. So actually, I've been here for 9 years, like what Violet has shared. So this is my long-term career already, and I'm the country head of Singapore, so I work with the sales and operations team and so clients directly. So I think one of my favorite moments working here at lunch actually is when I actually get to meet success couples in person. Just last month we had a success couple come all the way to our office to share that they got together. They were happy with each other, and they were sharing gifts with us and the consultants as well, to just thank us for the work that we have done. So these are really favorite moments while working here at lunch actually.
Thank you, Rose. Every time like Rose come onto a webinar, right, then I want to make a very corny joke. I think the last time I stopped myself, but maybe this time I will lah. Like there is like this poem, right? Like you all know the poem, how to link both our names together. Let's see who is the first person who can type out that poem in the chat. Yeah, very corny.
I need to change my name already.
Yeah, but it's just so funny, right? It's like, wow. And then we are both doing this webinar together tonight. Wow, Lynn, you're very fast. Thank you. Roses are red, violets are blue. Oh my goodness. Okay. So yes, very awesome to have Rose with us tonight. And yes, and we want to get started now. So, the first part, what we want to dive into is, we really want to hear from you. Like I mentioned that some of us, I'm sure, like you're like me, you set New Year goals, but some of you, like maybe you're like, I know it's like it's a waste of time. Every time I've done it, then I don't do anything with it. Or so some of you just you just don't intend to, or that's just not your style. So okay, we want to see how is the room split into tonight. I've already put out a poll, so let us know. Do you usually set New Year goals, like you have not but you will, like or you have not and you don't intend to? Yes, let us know in the poll right now. Okay, not bad. Like we have almost half of the room that have already voted. Okay, so if you have not voted, come on, like do join us. Come. Okay, now 60% already. Give you a couple more seconds, and then I will share with you the results. Okay, I think quite close. We have 40. Okay, it's like moving, still moving. Okay, 43% of the room who say that yes, I have. Wow, awesome. So those of you who say yes, I have, right, let us know what is the goal that you have set. Okay, so let us know. If you don't want me to read out your name, don't worry, I won't read your name. I'll just say your goal. Okay, so if you have set your New Year goal, 43% of you say yes, I have. Okay, let me know what is the goal that you have set. We have 38% who say no, I haven't, but I will. Okay, so that's good. And then we have 18% who say no, I haven't, and I don't intend to. So I think from the results we can see that a majority lah, okay, so about maybe 82%, yes, 82% of the room say that either that they have not but they will, and then the minority say that no, I haven't and I don't intend to. Okay, so okay, don't be shy, you can share with us your goal in the chat. Okay, so we have one person, this person very shy, this person's name is Zoom user. Okay. Like the person very shy, I don't even want to put a name. So Zoom user say his or her goal is to find myself. Wow, I think that's actually an awesome goal, because it's very important that we know ourselves, because a lot of people, they always say that, oh, I want to find someone, I want to find the love of my life. But I think if we do not know ourselves, right, I think and sometimes people have this concept that, oh, I'm looking for another person to complete me. I think that's actually a very not very good advice, like, even though it comes from one of my favorite movies, Jerry Maguire. But I think, I totally agree with the Zoom user. I think find yourself is a good goal to have. We have Mina who say that let's see, Mina say, pursue my passion, switch career. Yeah, I think just like how I've switched career 17 years ago, I think pursuing your passion is important. I always tell my colleagues, I always tell my team members, my colleagues at work, like for example what Rose have mentioned, right? I think a lot of people, like, we always spend like so much time at work, right? We spend 8 hours, 9 hours of our time at work, and if it's not something that we are passionate about, I think it's very, very painful. So I think, Mina, I think that's definitely very important. If you think that's not your passion, to change your career is a good idea. Ziming say, I fear others would see me as myself. Okay. So what would be your goal then, Ziming? Okay, so Deborah say, actually the goals I have in mind, is hard to achieve. Get a better job, better environment, and go home. Deborah, I think sometimes, yes, we might think that a goal is hard to achieve, but I think it's great that at least you have set a goal and then you have written it down. Like, by just writing it down, you're a lot more likely to actually achieve your goals. Wow, guys, thanks. I see a lot more coming in. I cannot finish reading out your goals, but then thanks for joining us. So okay, next what we want to do, right, is that um I think New Year resolutions is great, and a lot of us always think 1st of January is like a great fresh start. That's what I think also. So the thing is, we'll then start to list down all these things and goals we want to achieve for the new year, and then we always promise ourselves that, okay, we'll be our better self. We'll be a better version of ourselves as compared to last year. However, at the same time, right, there's also challenges. Okay, so I want to really share with you guys, because my team has also asked our clients, like, what kind of love challenges that they have dealt with before, and we actually received a lot of responses. Okay, so in order to be time efficient, because again, like, I cannot read out all the challenges that our clients have listed out for us, we have shortlisted these questions and we have categorize them. Okay, so we also thought that these challenges, since these are some of the challenges that our clients have listed out, this might also be the challenges that you are dealing with right now. So we have brought up all of these responses tonight, and Rose, and I will try to give some advice on some of these challenges, or these common challenges that are being faced by singers. So these are the top 3 love challenges, that we have gotten from our singers so far. So you can see it on your screen right now. So one is, it's getting harder to meet people, to build serious relationship, because it seems that there are so many dating platforms available. So what we are hearing is that because people feel that there are so many dating platforms available, right? Like they are feeling that maybe people are not even serious, because they are thinking, okay, if you're using so many, excuse me, you're using so many platforms, you're meeting so many people, are you even serious, or are you even sincere? And another love challenge that singers say that they are facing is that they feel that they do not have the confidence to actually initiate the first move, like make the first move. And another challenge, which we found have been quite common among our clients, they say that my relationship never lasts long and I'm tired to start all over again after a breakup. So Rose, what do you think of these love challenges, and what advice do you have for our singers who might be facing some of these problems?
Okay. I mean, these are really common challenges, and I feel that especially during the pandemic, when we had the circuit breaker in Singapore and in various countries when we had lockdowns, these challenges were more serious, lah. And I feel one of the important things in general, please don't give up. Always have faith when it comes to meeting someone, because I personally know, or even our team have met many people who have the same intentions, about meeting a serious person. They do want to settle down in the long run, get married as well. So you are definitely not alone now. Okay, more importantly is mindset. If we have a positive mindset, we are more or less more open or more receptive when the right one comes by. Whereas on the other hand, if our mindset is negative, thinking that, wow, it's very difficult to find a good man nowadays, all the good girls are taken on merit, what happens is when the right one does come in front of you, you can't identify her, you can't even recognize her as a good person or good potential partner, because you keep thinking perhaps of the negative part, and maybe start nitpicking, and then things go off track in that sense. Okay, so I mean, in terms of challenges, let's start with, I would feel the first one would be getting harder to meet people. So my advice on this really is, if you've been doing the same thing over and over again and there are no results, try something new. If things don't work, get away from it first, then maybe going back to it again later will actually give you better results. And one of the things that I'm very appreciative or very excited about after COVID was virtual dating. That came up because we had no chance to meet in person, right? So try something like virtual dates. Virtual dating has become very interesting in terms of being able to play games. There's house party, you can have teams, there are online games available that you can actually play with your date as well. You can have a color team where you both wear the similar colors, or you can even send each other mails and explore kind of around the world cuisines by eating like French food, Italian food, Chinese food together as an interesting touch point. So definitely when it comes to trying new things, it does give you a fresher start when it comes to dating and the type of people that you are meeting recently. So the next challenge, right, would actually be towards, I would feel, if your challenge is you are a bit shy, you're not sure how to initiate when it comes to conversation wise. Okay. So I would say that this is actually very common, and I find it coming a lot from maybe introverts, especially females. For females wise, we feel that we shouldn't be the one who is initiating contact with a guy. If the guy is interested, he will chase me, right? And I'll leave it as that. I think the first thing first, if we are thinking about all of this, overthinking about who should initiate, right, is to place focus on yourself. How can I build confidence when it comes to improving myself? Can I join a self-development class? Can I join Toastmasters? These are things that can actually help build more confidence in who you are. We even have webinars that teach introverts and females how to make initiative, how to actually be, I would say, more active when it comes to dating as well. And I think the interesting thing was when we did a survey among the singles, both genders really appreciate an initiative partner. So even guys would love to see females actually take initiative to ask them out. And one of the things I really feel when it comes to dating, right, or what I tell my clients is, if you don't try, you will never know. If you never try, you really lose 100% of the chance that anything can happen. But if you give it your all, there's a chance that yes, it might fail, but there's also a chance that the person might feel the same way and decide to go out with you. Okay, at the end of the day, you also need to ask yourself, what's the worst thing that can happen when I decide to initiate this? Okay, and the third one that came up, right, was really about, I've been in short-term relationships. They have never lasted long, maybe 3 months, 4 months, then we broke up. What happens next, especially since I've been in so many relationships, I'm very tired. What should I do? So when it comes to decisions like this, I mean, partners are as important as even looking, more important compared to looking for jobs as well. Rushing is never good. So the first thing we need to do is really take time to heal. You need to reflect, ask yourself, what went wrong? What are some of the deal breakers? What are some things that you find important in a partner moving forward? What do you need to look out for in your next relationship? I feel it is also important for you to spend time with yourself and start to enjoy your own company, whether it's through solo movies, it's through exercise. But when you start to enjoy your own own company, you will start to attract people because they see that you are confident. They also want to spend time with you as well. Of course, if you are unsure, how to do this reflection in your relationships, do talk to your friends. You grab a friend, talk it out together, or you can talk to one of our dating consultants. I think what we really do is focus on how to tidy up what your priorities are, what are your deal breakers, especially after relationships.
Wow, thank you so much, Rose. And I think, your advice is very well received. We have Deborah who is saying here, nodding my head so hard at Rose's words, I feel dizzy now. Yeah, so I think, like those are definitely amazing advice, Rose. You can see that, like, wow, I say she has been with us for 9 years. Like she has really been with us for 9 years. You can see she's really know what she's talking about. And I mean, like, one of the things that I really like what Rose has shared is that, what is the worst thing that can happen? I think that is really a very good question to be asking ourselves, because I think a lot of times, like, we are just paralyzed with fear, and then we just have paralysis analysis, and then like we keep worrying, like, okay, what might happen? Like, what if the person does not like me, or what if the person, like, thinks I'm like, I don't know, like, troublesome or whatever. But honestly, what's the worst thing that can happen? The worst thing that can happen is the person will reject you, lor, or the person don't talk to you. But why don't you think what is the best thing that can happen? So then you can see that actually, that's a lot of positives as well. We have Zoom user who say, so true, initiative is always make it or break it, as simple as saying hi when you have a match. I mean, okay lah, then they say seems desperate, but I think, desperate is also like how we perceive it. Like a lot of times, like what Rose have mentioned, right? Actually, both male and female that we have surveyed have said that they really appreciate it when the other side actually make the initiative. I think especially for guys who is a bit shy, right? I think we have talked about this quite a bit. For guys who's a bit shy, they're also very afraid of rejection as well. So I think for girls, if you are really interested, like, you can always, give the person a chance to ask you out, lah. You can come, hint, hint. Yeah. Okay. So I think that some of you have also shared some of your challenges, like, so maybe I'll just see what are some of the challenges here, and see if Rose, can help with some of the challenges that have been listed here. Okay, so Rose, we have one question here from a big handsome guy. Okay, I think he's definitely not shy. Like, humility is not his strength. Okay, anyway, so he say, how do you know that she's the right one? Okay, Rose. So how do you usually, like, advise your clients? When the client say, oh, like, I have this lady we have been dating for a while. Like, but how do I know that she's the right one?
Mm. I feel that one of the things that we have experienced this before when it comes to clients. They have gone on a few dates, maybe with different people as well. So they are thinking, oh, how do I know whether this person's okay? She's nice to me. She treats me well. Is she someone that I would like to, I would say, proceed to the next step of a relationship with? So what I would advise, or what I would ask them first is, first thing, is she someone who, you only want to see? So now maybe you are going on some other dates that you have already arranged through apps or even dating platforms like dating agencies. Do you only think about this person? Do you constantly compare your dates to this person? So that's the biggest question. Like, is this person someone who you only want to see at this point in time? If yes, place the rest of the dates on hold. Focus on getting to know this girl on a deeper level. So I think the next step after which is really that whether you guys have similar values, similar long-term goals. And I have a friend, whose maybe personal priorities or importance is family. Someone who loves animals, someone who's good with animals. So he asked me, how do I know whether the girl has these traits that would actually encourage me to ask her to be my girlfriend? So if possible, do some activities that could rope in some of these interests or priorities together. So whether it's talking about your grandma, saying I'm going to visit my grandma after this and seeing how she reacts, or even taking her to SPCA to do volunteer work to see how she reacts. So I feel that when there are more common areas on these priorities or importance when it comes to values, then you can further think about how to take it the next step, or and that is a point where you decide that you should take it to a next step.
Rose, I think that's a great idea and like very good suggestions. So I'm not sure whether any of you have also watched The Crown on Netflix, like so the latest season, right? So why I brought that up is like just now when Rose was saying that if you are like, let's say, very into animals, so maybe you want to like go do some volunteer work at SPCA and things like that. So like you're in The Crown, like one of the episodes is that they say that whenever they want to see whether a person is the right partner for someone, they bring them to like their holiday place lah. And then because they all really enjoy hiking, they really enjoy outdoors, so this is something that they do on a very regular basis, and then you'll kind of see like the person's reaction to it. So if like those people who are very dainty, like they might not fit in very well lah. So I think this is probably a good idea, if there's something that you are really very passionate about and you are not sure whether the person is very into it as well. Because I guess words is like, we can always say that yes, like I like this, like you say are you an animal lover? Yes, I say, I like animals. But like when you are actually faced with animals and then see how you react, then that's something that is a good way for you to gauge. Okay, so now we are just going to put out a poll on the three love challenges that we have talked about just now. I'm going to launch the poll right now, and we want to hear from you. What are the challenges that you have faced in the past? I know that maybe you have faced all three, or maybe you have not faced any lah. But maybe you can choose the one that relates the most to you. So like we can also know what are some of the challenges that you are facing, and if this is relevant to you. Okay, so okay, everybody is voting about 38% now. Okay, 40%. Okay, so please do vote so that we can hear from you, so every vote counts. But I think for this one is quite a clear winner. Like by now, there's already a very clear winner. So more than 70% of the room say that it's getting harder to meet people or build a serious relationship with people nowadays, because despite there being many dating platforms lah. So this seems to be the highest. The next highest is actually the second one, which is I still don't have the confidence to initiate or start make the first move, but it's only 16%, and followed very closely by the last one, my relationship never lasts long and I'm tired to start all over again after breakup. So there's only 13%. So it seems that the biggest challenge that a lot of singles are now facing is that they feel that it's really getting harder to meet people to build a serious relationship with. And I believe that's also probably one of the reasons why like more and more singles are coming to us. Actually, we have been seeing I would say more inquiries, more signups, because I think with dating apps sometimes with dating platforms, people are not sure whether people are sincere or not. So I think when people come to a dating service, they know that at the very least they would have meet a dating consultant, like Rose, like our colleagues, who have met them face to face, who have gone through profiling with them. So they know at least like the fact that these people have gone through that process. That means they should be at least more sincere lah, because rather than people that they are meeting on apps. Not to say that people that they meet on apps are definitely not sincere, but I think the fact that people have taken the time out, or invested in a dating membership, and I think that's probably one of the reasons why we are seeing more and more singles coming to us. Okay, so the next thing we want to talk about is really the three biggest mistakes that singles tend to make when it comes to New Year resolutions. So I think definitely a lot of us make New Year resolutions, but not all of us keep it. I have to be honest as well. Like I do make New Year goals and New Year resolutions, but there are definitely times where I'm not able to keep it, or maybe even after 1 or 2 weeks, I'm like, oh, okay, it's just too difficult. I'm not going to do it anymore. So I think a lot of times we are just very enthusiastic, but as time goes by, it's sometimes not so easy to stick with the resolutions. So let's see how many honest people we have in the room. Okay, so what I mean is I'm going to put out the poll, and let's see, like you share with us, what is the longest time you have stuck to your New Year goals or New Year resolutions. Okay, so we have 4 answers here. 1 full year, 6 months, 3 months, and not even close to the end of January. Okay, so let's see. what the answer is. So while I wait for the answers to come in, let's just see what are some of the things that people are talking in the chat right now. So Zoom users say that apps are filled with fake profile or profile seeking for followers. Lin say, heard that one of my former colleagues, married and with a newborn is on a dating app. Oh my goodness. Yeah, so it is true because like with dating apps, there's no verification. So sometimes people go on there, they might be married, and who knows, right? So Lin say, appreciate that the check that Lunch actually does. Okay, so the answers have come in, and interestingly, wow, good job, guys. So the highest percentage, right? So 1/3 of the room actually say 1 full year. Wow, good job. Okay, so 31% actually say have stuck to New Year resolutions for 1 full year. This is closely followed by, I guess, up to 6 months. Okay, so not bad, still halfway there. So that's 28% of the room, and followed by 22% of the room. So if that's you, like you're not alone. So 22% of the room say, oops, not even close to the end of January. Okay, so we understand the difficulty and we understand the pain. So that's why we want to share with you what are some of the three biggest mistakes that singles often make when it comes to planning for their New Year's resolutions. Maybe that's the reason why some of you say, oops, not even close to the end of January. So Rose, I believe you have some great advice for us.
Yes, yes. Yeah. So for the 20% of the participants who are on number 4, who are not even close to the end of January when it comes to resolutions, these are some of the probably the mistakes that we are making. So when it comes to the first one, really would be I think setting unrealistic and too ambitious goals. So every start of the new year, the first thing our clients and even of course us, our people think of, right, is wow, new year, new me. This year is going to be a time where I have new changes. I'm going to be a much better person, and everyone is excited for these new changes. So in the end, we start writing a long list, of what we are going to work on, what we are going to accomplish by the end of the year. So find girlfriend, lose weight, right? Lose weight will definitely come out on our goals. Meet my parents more, or maybe run more, take care of my health. Like things will come out, and there will be a huge list coming up. But goals have to be smart. If we don't have action plans, goals are not smart, meaning specific, measurable, attainable, realistic, and time-based. They are just dreams. So at the end of the entire year, we'll just have our list of resolutions that we can reuse for the next year again. So for example, let's say if one of my goals is to be in a relationship by the end of this year, having a SMART goal would be breaking it down to be how specific it is. So for example, you need to ask yourself and work backwards. How many people do I meet in the past 6 months or 1 year? If I have to meet 10 new people, how do I do it? Is it through events? Can I attend one event a month? Can I go on 3 dates through dating platforms or even dating apps a month? Okay, so if you want it to be, I would say, more realistic, definitely breaking it down into these action plans will help you better. Okay, so the next mistake that our singles also tend to make, right, is being half committed. So the excitement has run out already, maybe it's 1 month in for 20% of you guys. Then 6 months in, for the next 20%. But halfway through, we realize that it's too much work, we give up. Okay, or we procrastinate. Yeah, never mind, it's okay, next month then I go on the event. It's okay, I don't want to go on this date this time. Next month then I download the app. Okay, so you tend to drag that out, but you have to be fully committed and constantly remind yourself of what you are working for this to work. Okay, and the third mistake would be biasness and vagueness to what you really want. And that will actually lead to really unspecific goals that you are setting that do not match the go of your happiness. So it doesn't really bring you true happiness. And I think one of the important things that you need to do to make sure this doesn't happen would be to constantly review and learn from your past relationships, deal breakers, what is important to you, and of course put to work after doing that reflection. Yeah, so I would say these are the three big mistakes that I realized or come to realize as we are doing dating goal setting, especially with our clients during consultation.
Thank you, Rose. I really agree with you, and I think we are all of us, at some point or other would be guilty of some of these mistakes. I think unrealistic and too ambitious goals, like for sure. Like of course, we all want to lose weight. Yeah, you're right. Lose weight is always on my goal every single year. Exactly. So I think like maybe using like lose weight as one of the example, right? I think the challenge is that sometimes if we just put out a resolution like, okay, I want to lose weight, it's like so not specific, and then it's like before you know it, you're like, oh, I seem to be putting on weight, forget it, like no, it's not going to happen. And then like you say, oh, I love the way you put it, then we'll just end up recycling the same list of goals for next year. Don't even need to think anymore, just like copy and paste the same list of goals, resolutions for the next year. So I think like what Rose had mentioned is really important to put down an action plan. So rather than just having the resolution, to put out an action plan, to even look at what do we need to do on a monthly basis, a weekly basis, or even a daily basis on how we are going to achieve the goal, and of course tracking it and see the progress that we have made. So definitely not easy, and persistence is definitely the key. So I think some of you, who say that, oh, I have managed to stuck through an entire year of my New Year goal or New Year resolution. Maybe you want to share with us what is your secret. Like what are some of the things that you have done that have helped you to successfully achieve your New Year goals or New Year resolutions, so the rest of our participants can learn from you, especially the 20%, who say that, oops, I only last until like the end of January. Okay, so really looking forward to hear from you guys. Okay, so I think a lot of you have started sharing. I'll wait for a bit more before I start reading out your answers. Okay, so I think now is really time for us to turn our resolutions into action and success, right? Okay, so I believe that some of you have said that I have already made my New Year resolution, my New Year goals, and then another half who say that I have not made, but I am looking forward to do so. And then I think maybe a small percentage, like about 20% of the room, say I have not made and I don't plan to do so. But it's okay, even though that is your intention. We are very glad that you have decided to join us tonight, and we hope that maybe at the end of tonight you feel that okay, maybe I should make New Year's resolution. Okay, so now Rose is actually going to share with us how to successfully achieve our dating and relationship New Year goals.
Thanks, Violet. I think the first thing is actually very simple. The first thing is to write them down. So we can start by what I call brain dumping, where you just keep writing down all your goals, on a piece of paper. And from there, choose about 1 to 3 goals that you feel resonate with you the most. After you have selected about 1 to 3 goals, I would say start breaking it down into steps. So having whether is it specific, what are some of the day-to-day actions or the month-to-month actions you can do. And after all this is done, decorate it and put it everywhere. So whether it's at your work desk, in front of you, your phone wallpaper, your laptop wallpaper, or even it being the first thing that you see when you wake up, it reminds you of your goals, and at the same time, right, it might keep you motivated and keep you tracked throughout the entire year. Okay, the next thing will be putting down the why. The why is very important when it comes to resolutions. It is also very important when it comes to work and your career. Because I think these questions that you have to ask yourself when you set your goals will include, why do you want this? Why do you want this goal? What is the feeling that you are pursuing when it comes to achieving this goal? So when you are stuck, right, and you go back into reviewing this, always go back and remember why you started this in the first place. Is it because You want to, you want that feeling of happiness. You want someone to spend certain times with doing certain activities that are important to you. Remind yourself about why you actually set this goal to begin with. Okay, the third step will be having a bite-sized action plans. Big goals or big resolutions are overwhelming, and they can be very intimidating as you review and you realize that there's nothing much done. So the first step is really make sure that you have a checklist for either a day-to-day action or the month-to-month achievements. So taking the example of getting in a relationship by the end of the year. So day to day could be, okay, I need to send 3 messages to 3 different girls on the apps. A month to month could be, I need to go for at least 2 dates. I need to go for 1 second date. These are things that you can actually set achievements for yourself and give yourself small rewards along the way. When you commit to daily actions, you definitely will get closer and closer to your goal. Okay, if you want, you can give yourself rewards also as you achieve these bite-sized action plans and tasks, so that you actually feel more motivated and you feel like you're achieving something throughout the year and not just by the end of the year. Okay. Once all of this is done, seek for an accountable person. So accountability is very important. I realize that if we are just saying these goals to ourselves, setting these actions to ourselves, the only person, right, we need to lie to is ourselves. But if you find someone, right, whether it's a friend, a fellow colleague, and to keep you accountable throughout the entire year, you have a responsibility to be a bit more truthful. You have a responsibility to, share the updates on this and have someone keep you in check throughout the entire year and motivate you. So I find that very crucial as well. So the last step will be, of course, start working backwards. Like, in a sense, when you work backwards, you realize how can you break down into smaller actions, to actually move you towards closer and closer to the goals as well. So I would say that these are the 5 major steps that we need to do to make our resolutions into a more into an achievement.
Yep, totally agree. Thanks, Rose. And I really love the part about accountability. I agree. Like, if we don't tell anybody, we just keep to ourselves. Like, the only person we need to lie to, like what Rose say, is just ourselves, right? So I think, like, to up it one level, like, I realized that the goals that I 100% will achieve, right? What sort of goals they are. They are the one that I not only write it down, I not only have an accountable partner, I actually put it on Facebook. Die will achieve one. Yeah, because it's like you announce to the whole world already that you're going to do it, then everybody is like looking out for you to do it, and then you don't do it, like, wow, it's like very, very bad. So if you have a very important goal, that's something that a tip I can give you as well. Put it on Facebook. 100% you'll get it done. Okay, so thank you, Rose, for that. And I totally agree that writing down is very, very important. And I think just writing it down would immediately sort of double your chance or triple your chance of making it come true. And why is, of course, extremely important, because why is the thing that's going to help us to keep going. Because sometimes we put out a goal, we forget our why, but when we look at the piece of paper where we write down all the reasons why it's so important to achieve this goal, it keeps us motivated to keep us keep going as well. Okay, so let us know, like in the chat right now, what are some takeaways that you have for today? Like what are some great tips that you have learned from Rose that you think that you can take with you that will help you to create better New Year resolutions, or help you to, be in a better place to achieve your goals for this year? So Shah say, yes, put it on Facebook. People will ask you about it. Okay, and then let's see. We also have someone who said just now that one small step for myself, a giant leap for my future self. Yep, for sure. I think, like when we are making goals, like keeping ourselves accountable, I think our future self will definitely thank us when we are able to achieve, some of these goals. And Shas also say, my results are the things that actually kept me motivated. I think this is very important. So I think like what Rose have mentioned just now, sometimes it's good to make bite-sized goals, because when there's bite-sized goals, we see the result, and then when we see result, then we are motivated to keep going. And sometimes if like the goal is just so humongous, it's so big, like we would just feel that, oh, it's so far away, I'm just not going to be able to do it. And before we are even like even halfway through, we already give up because we just feel that it's really, really too difficult. Gordon say, yes, need to work on your goals to see the results, for sure. Totally agree. So, speaking about writing down resolutions or setting goals, I've definitely done a lot of it myself. In fact, I believe in living intentionally. So I always think about what I want to do, and then I work backwards. So, for example, from a young age, so maybe this might be applicable to you guys, because some of you might be looking at dating goals or relationship goals. So, at a young age, I actually said to myself, or I set a goal, which I also told my friends about. I say I wanted to get married by 26 years old. So, actually getting married at 26 is probably considered quite young, even at that point. But I wrote it down. And like I say, when you write something down, when you actually share with other people, like you are actually doubling or even tripling the chance of it happening. So very proud of myself, because I actually ended up getting married at 25. Yes, I even beat my goal in that sense. So these are some of my tips for our participants tonight on creating a successful love resolution. So I think first and foremost is definitely it's important to set a dating matrix. So this is something that Rose has covered just now. So, rather than saying that, okay, I want to get married by next year, or I want to find a girlfriend by, like 6 months' time, that's important, that's a good goal. But at the same time, it's really having the matrix for it. So like how many dating apps are you going to use, how many dating platforms are you going to be on, how many people are you going to be chatting to, how many people are you going to meet in person, how many first dates you're going to go on, how many second dates you're going to go on. I think, like it is a conversion, like whether you like it or not. Of course, we all hope that we'll just meet one person, and then that's the person who's going to be the love of our life, or the, like man of our dreams, or woman of our dreams, right? Which happens, don't get me wrong, that definitely happens. But at the same time, I think rather than sitting around hoping that the perfect guy or girl is going to fall from the sky, right? I think if we are just looking at some of the matrix, like, because there is a conversion rate, like obviously if you do meet more people, you have more opportunities to meet people, the chances of you meeting the right person is definitely much higher. So something to think about. The second thing I think is also important to practice self-care. I think 2020 definitely has been a rough year for many of us. So in 2021, I think it's important that we make sure that we feel and look good, and definitely, look our best as well. Because, whether we would like it or not, dating is also very visual, and first impressions are very important as well. So when we go on our first date, or, like when even if we are going on video dates, how we look, how we present ourselves is very important as well. So I think, other than just setting like, okay, I want to find the love of my life, I think it's also important that, I want to look my best this year, I want to spend some time on self-care. And last but not least, just now it's also something that we have covered, which is try something new. Try something new, meaning, like get out of your comfort zone. So I think maybe is it Einstein who said that, if we keep doing the same thing over and over again and expecting a different result, then that's insanity lah. If you think about it, that's true. But at the same time, I think a lot of us are actually stuck doing that. We just keep thinking that we want a different result, but we just kind of keep doing the same thing over and over again. So I hope that 2021 can be the year that you break out of this cycle, like really, try something new, get out of your comfort zone. So I think Rose has mentioned just now that video dating maybe is something new that you want to try out, or it could even just be, like going to a different gym, something as simple as that. Because that maybe that's how you usually meet people, but if you keep going to the same place, maybe you have already meet all the people there. Or maybe even just go to a different coffee place. If you always go to this Starbucks, maybe just go to a different Starbucks. So just do different things, and who knows, just by changing things up, you meet new people. And even though that person is not someone who is single, but he or she might actually know of single friends who might be a good match for you. Okay. Wow, I didn't realize we're already so close to 9 p.m. So maybe we will take one or two questions very quickly from the Q&A box. Okay, so Rose, we have a question here, and Gordon has been very persistent. He has asked this question many, many times. So I will ask this question, okay? And so that you have a chance to answer this question. So his question is, how do you know if she is your crush, or you are in a relationship?
Okay, so just to clarify, how do I know whether the person is just someone I like, or someone who is in a relationship with me?
Yes.
Okay. Um, I I mean, dating is a little bit different now compared to maybe just 8 years ago. I think some of the differences was I feel that 8 years ago, if a guy held my hand, I would assume that we are more or less together already. But now I think we have terms like, oh, we are just dating, we are seeing how things go, we're not exclusive yet, right? So we are in an open relationship. These are things that comes out more frequently during relationships nowadays. So whether you guys are dating exclusively in a relationship or not, or just on a date, and you just have nice feelings for each other, I think that um, there are no sure signs. It's very important to have communication. So be very upfront and maybe communicate and talk about this. Some of the things that I feel ladies do wait for is if the gentleman take the initiative to ask about going exclusively. So it sounds nice to them. They don't want it to be a case where you just hold your hands anymore. It's nice to actually say that, hey, things has been going really well. I really like you because of these areas. I really appreciate you because of these areas. I do see ourselves going long term. So, do you feel the same way as well? So that you at least can put some, I would feel, more clearer direction on what's going to happen in the relationship. So the difference would be, I feel, having that conversation. Of course, some small things would be whether you guys have met each other's family members, friends, and of course done things or been in each other's lives in the important areas, or even meeting colleagues as well. So these are small signs that is going in that direction, and it's important to just have a talk and communicate rather than leave it in the gray.
Yep, totally agree. So Gordon, I hope that answers your question. Okay, so thanks for staying on with us. As always, we always have something special that we have prepared for you. So tonight's webinar gift is, of course, very relevant to our topic for tonight. And so tonight's webinar gift, we have an ebook which is called "How to Crush Your New Year's Goals with Confidence." Wow. Okay, so it's like not only you have all these great tips that Rose and I have given to you tonight, you can actually get a copy of the ebook. So all you need to do is just go to the link that we have put out in the chat right now. So just go to the link and submit your contact details to redeem the special gift. And if you want to share our webinar with your friends as well, so I know that quite a number of you are new, you are joining us for the first time. If you have liked what you have heard tonight, you have benefited from our webinars, or those of you who have been coming back again and again, of course, I think you do enjoy our webinars. So, please feel free to also put in your friend's contact. It's optional for you to recommend your friend to actually join our webinar. So thank you so much for everybody for your participation tonight. This marks our first webinar for 2021. However, I just want to share with you something very exciting because this Sunday, we are actually going to be partnering with Lazada Singapore to bring you guys a 4-part matchmaking series on a live streaming platform on Lazada, which is called Last Live. So the first one will be this Sunday, 17 January at 9 p.m. So I think, if you do not already have Lazada app on your phone, you can download it and then you can watch it on Last Live. We are going to have a whole new platform of matchmaking matchmaking, so it's going to be a matchmaking game, and we also be spilling a lot of dating tips. We'll be giving away free vouchers as well as exclusive deals. So if you have liked our webinar, we hope that you also will join us on last live this Sunday. Okay, so if you want to be updated about our webinar lineup as well as our schedule, you can always just sign up at lunchrashly.com/webinar. That's all. Our webinars are there, and you can also get a copy of our previous webinars there as well. Okay, so just want to share again, tonight we are giving out the ebook, which is called How to Crush Your New Year's Goal with Confidence. So, you can get a copy of that. I believe that our Melinda has already put out the link. Yep, so it's there. So you can just get a copy of it there. And while you are going to put that link, also maybe you can share with us what are some of your biggest takeaway for tonight. Like what is the one tip you feel that is most useful to you? Something you can definitely use. What are you going to do? Especially for those of you who say that you have not set your goals yet, and then you're going to set it. Like what is the one thing that has really worked for you, or you think really resonated with you and you would like to use? Please let us know in the chat. And I also want to take this opportunity to thank Rose for spending an hour of your time with us today. I know you have had a long day, like wow, Rose, very, very long days, very, very busy. So thanks for joining us tonight and sharing with us all these great tips. Like definitely you can see that our audience tonight, they really, really appreciated, like your great advice. A lot of them say that, wow, really resonated with all that you have said. So Rose, you definitely will be coming back on the show more often.
Okay. I'll look forward to my third one. Thanks, Vala. Thanks,
Yeah,
guys.
okay. Thanks, Rose.